wish I was an automobile with four-wheel drive and a real good feel that tune me up with a brand new eyes, some good spark plugs and a white wall ties. And if you arrange to get an oil change, you'll hear the clickety-clack as they pump up the jack. It's your lucky day down at the service bay, fixed up and feeling fine. I wish I was a brand new car. Down at the car wash, I'm a star. They line me up on those car wash tracks and polish me up with high gloss wax. You feel like a king or a queen when you're scrubbed up clean. You'll be looking so fine when your windshield shines, like cruising home with gleaming chrome, fixed up and feeling fine. Yes, it's your lucky day down at the service bay, fixed up and feeling fine, looking good.
Maybe this doohickey thing is loose.
I don't think that's the problem.
Well, if you don't think that's the problem, then what do you think is the problem?
I didn't say anything.
Well, if you didn't say anything, then who did?
I did. And what you call a doohickey is actually called a cutoff switch. And by flipping this switch, it turns the engine off once it's running. But I don't think that's your problem. I think your problem is getting the engine to run in the first place.
How do you know all that?
Well, I thought my cool mechanic's uniform would have told you. Because I love cars. In fact, I love repairing cars almost as much as I love flying on my magic carpet.
That's a nice outfit, but it doesn't look like any mechanic's uniform I've ever seen.
Oh, I forgot. Well, these aren't my work clothes. They're my traveling clothes.
How'd you do that?
Well, besides being a great mechanic, I'm also a pretty good genie. And being a genie allows me to combine the things I love, like tools, with things I like to do, like magic.
But there's no such thing as a genie.
Well, there is now. Hi, I'm Darren. This is my friend Amy.
Hi, Darren. Hi, Amy. I'm Hard Hat Harry.
Well, Harry, if the doohickey, I mean cutoff switch, isn't the problem, then what is?
Yeah, why can't we get our go-kart to go?
Well, if you notice, your engine was running, but for maybe only 2 or 3 seconds before it quit. Now, that tells me that your ignition system is working, otherwise the engine wouldn't run at all.
What does mean?
Means I think your go-kart is suffering from something called oog.
Oog? What's oog? Is that some sort of disease or something?
Oh, no. Oog stands for OOG, or out of gas. You know, I think all your car needs is a little high-octane fuel, and it will run like new.
He's right, Darren. We're ooged. I wish we knew as much about cars as you do, Harry.
Well, you can. Hey, if you guys want, you can tag along with me, and I'll show you a trick or two.
When can we start, Harry?
And where do we start?
Well, when can we start is now, and where can we start is with your clothes. I think you guys need to be wearing some really cool mechanics uniforms like mine.
Thanks, Harry. They look great.
Yeah, thanks, Harry. I already feel like I can walk the walk and talk the talk of a real mechanic. Where to now?
Well, follow me, team.
Wow, you genies get around a lot faster and easier than my go-kart.
Can we look around, Harry?
Well, don't ask me, ask the owner.
Excuse me, are you the owner?
Yes, I am. I'm Anneke.
Hi, my name is Amy.
Nice to meet you, Amy.
Hi, I'm Darren.
Nice to meet you, Darren.
And this is Harry.
He's a genie.
Hi, Harry. Good to see you again.
Thanks, Anneke. Would you mind if my friends and I take a look around?
No, certainly. Go right ahead.
Okay.
Pay close attention to Harry. He's a great mechanic, and he can teach you a lot.
We will.
Thank you.
Over here. This is where all the really neat action takes place. Now, this is where cars come to be serviced or repaired. And this is why it's called a service bay. Now, do you know why I like the service bay? Because although I love motors and I love cars, what I really love are tools. Tools like these. Tools that spin. Tools that flash. Tools that tighten. Tools that squirt. And let's not forget tools that test. Tools that fill. And tools that hoist.
Wow.
See what I mean? Tools are terrific.
You're right, Harry. Tools are terrific. So when can we put them to use?
Well, before we can put these tools to use, we need two things. First, we need something to work on.
Wow.
And the second is someone who knows how to work on it. A mechanic like Jeff. He's one of the best mechanics I know.
Oh, hi, Harry. I thought it might be you. Who are your friends?
These are my friends Amy and Darren. Do you need any help?
Well, thanks, Harry. I think I have everything under control right now. Well, wait a minute. There is something that I could use some help with. If you don't mind working on that car over there.
All right, let's go check it out.
This car needs more than help, Harry.
This car needs a miracle.
Well, it may look like it needs a miracle, but with a little care, a lot of knowledge, and the proper tools, we can help make this car run like new. Where do we start?
How about here?
Good choice. Now, what kind of a tool are we going to need first?
Something to lift the car off the ground.
Exactly. Like this. A hydraulic floor jack with a lifting capacity of 6,000 pounds.
That would be my choice.
Now, what are we going to need next?
Something to remove the lug nut so we can remove the tire.
Right, like this. An air impact wrench with its size 13/16 socket.
That would be my choice.
Good. First, we need to put these blocks down before we can put the jack into place. First, we move the lifting part of the jack underneath the strongest part of the car, and that would be the car's frame. Now, the cool thing about a hydraulic lifting jack is that it lets people like you guys lift something many, many times your weight. Well, here, you want to give it a try?
Can we?
Well, sure. Just hold on to the handle and then start pumping. Well, why don't you give it a try? Takes a lot of muscle, doesn't it? Maybe if we all three work on it, it will go faster. Now what?
The air impact wrench.
With?
The 13/16 socket.
You got it. Now we use this to remove the lug nuts to find out why the tire is leaking air. Come on. Whoa. Now how do I get rid of it? There. 2. Ta-da! Well, what do you think?
I think we found the problem.
I think what she thinks is right.
I think is what you both think is right. It looks like a classic case of nail puncturitis. It looks like it's time for a new tire. Why don't you let me show you guys how we change a tire around here?
Okay.
What's he doing, Harry?
He's removing the air valve stem to allow all the remaining air to escape. Now he'll place the tire on a machine called a tire mounter and dismounter. Watch this. By pressing that pedal, the machine automatically pushes the tire away from the rim, loosening the tire. Now, Jeff will do the same to the other side of the tire. Once the tire is loose from the rim, it's time to remove the tire. He'll use this, a dismounting bar, to remove the tire from the rim. After the top side has been pried off, he inserts the bar to remove the bottom side. And that's it. Now it's time to replace it with a new tire.
Boy, he can change that tire fast. You bet.
Well, here he has a brand new tire. Watch how Jeff installs the tire. He first uses a solution of soap and water so that it protects the tire from being damaged when he slips it over the rim. First, he'll push the bottom edge of the tire over the rim. And then he'll give it one big shove, and he'll let the machine do the rest. Now that the new tire is on, it's time to fill it with air. But to do that, we need an air hose. After the tire is full of air, Jeff installs a new valve stem. Ta-da! And a new cap. And then he finally releases the tire from the machine, and it's ready to go.
Now it's time to put the tire back on the car.
Oh, here, let me help. Okay. Now I put the lug nuts back on. Okay. And then okay, now it's time to lower the car. Who wants to help?
I do. But how?
Oh, it's really easy. To release the jack, you just turn the handle. But you gotta do it slowly because you don't want the car to fall too quickly. Can I help?
Hey, where did Harry go?
Right here. I think it's time to fire up the engine. I think it's time for an engine check.
What's the problem, Harry?
I don't know yet, but I'll find out. Now I'll be right back.
Hey, where'd Harry go?
He's in there.
He's in there? He's in the engine?
Yep, listen.
Let me check out the crankshaft, and then on to the pistons. Hey, Jeff, I found out what the problem was with the engine. And first, I'm going to write it down on a piece of paper and give it to Amy to hold on to. But don't read it, not yet. First, I want Jeff to tell you how he determines what's wrong with the engine. Jeff?
I need to use the electronic engine analyzer, and it's over there.
Well, allow me.
Well, this is what I need to fix the engine, to find out what's wrong with it. This is called an electronic engine analyzer, or the EEA. I need this to check the engine for me, since I can't check it from the inside out, like our friend Harry can.
How does it work?
It uses electronics to tell me what's wrong inside the engine. First is what we need to do is hook up the wires. And we'll take our wires over here. The first thing we're going to do is hook up the red connector to the #1 spark plug wire. And we will take the silver one and put it on the coil wire. We'll just clip it on just like that. The green one we don't need for the test that we're going to be performing. But we'll hook the red one up to the positive side of the battery, the red connector. And the black one will go on the negative side of the battery. And we have one more that we need to hook up to the negative side of the coil, or the tach side of the coil. Okay. Now we're ready to test. Harry, could you start the engine, please?
Certainly.
This part of the analyzer is called the scope. And the scope will tell us what's working and what's not working inside the engine.
What's it telling you now, Jeff?
This is called the pattern. And it's telling me all parts of the engine are working properly, except for this one over here. You can see how this line is a little bit different than the rest of them? The line that's jumping up and down is telling us that it has a bad spark plug wire. And it looks like it's #1. Is this all that you found, Harry? Is all that this engine needs is a new wire?
Don't ask me, ask Amy. The answer is right there on that piece of paper.
He's right. Needs a new spark plug wire. All right, Harry!
Thank you. I think you'll be needing one of these, Jeff. Spark plug wire. But first, I think we need to turn off the engine. Not yet.
Why not, Harry?
Because while I was in the engine, I found another problem. Dirty oil.
Ew, gross, dirty oil.
Ew, gross is right. Because not only does dirty oil clog up the engine, but it makes the engine run harder, hotter, and wears the parts out sooner. So do you know what we need?
To change the oil?
I was just about to do that very thing. Change the oil. Would you like to watch?
Sure. The car's oil is stored in something called an oil pan located underneath the car. That's why Jeff has to use a hoist to lift the car into the air. He then rolls an oil catcher or drain pan directly below the car's oil pan. Here you go, Jeff.
Thanks, Harry.
He can now remove the bolt, sometimes called the oil plug, from the pan. And whoosh! Now do you see why it's important to make sure the oil catcher is placed just right?
Because if it's not in just the right place, the oil would go all over the floor.
Or all over Jeff.
You're both right. Now watch. While the oil is draining, Jeff will reach up and remove the oil filter as well.
What's an oil filter and what's it do?
The job of an oil filter is to do its best to keep the oil clean. But after a while, it too gets dirty and has to be replaced as well.
Ew, gross. Look at that oil.
Here you go.
Thanks again, Harry.
Once the new filter is in place and all the old oil has been drained, Jeff replaces the oil plug and makes sure it's tight so the new oil he's about to put in the car won't leak out. He then rolls the oil catcher out of the way and lowers the car. That's because in order to put the new clean oil in the car, he has to get to the engine. Different cars take different amounts of oil, and it's very important to put in just the right amount. When he's done, he checks something called the dipstick. It's like a measuring stick, and it tells him when the car has all the oil it needs. Well, all done, Jeff?
Done.
All right, well, I think it's time to fire it up.
I found the problem! You're ooged, Harry! You're out of gas!
Oh, you're right, Amy. I'm ooged. Oh. Amy's right, Jeff. I'm ooged.
Well, it's a lucky thing for you, Harry, that all the gas you need is right out there.
He's right. Well, come on, kids. I'll show you. Let's go this way. Here we are at the service island. Now, it's called an island because the individual gas pumps are located away from the main building, and that allows for enough room for the cars to drive in and out.
Well, Harry, speaking of which, where's our car?
Oh, you're right. The car.
You're amazing, Harry.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Now, you can see here that the individual gas pumps are filled with different types of gas, depending on what type of fuel your car requires. We'll choose this one. It's their top of the line.
Harry, where do they keep all the gasoline and where does it come from?
Good question, Amy. They keep it here in underground tanks. This station has 3 underground tanks, which each holds about 10,000 gallons of gas. Now, the fuel is brought to this station by huge trucks called tankers. Here, I'll show you. Like the gas pumps at the islands, the tankers can also carry several types of fuel at the same time. Large hoses are used to transfer the fuel from the tanker to the underground storage tanks. Then the gasoline goes from the storage tanks to the gas pumps. Where it comes out here. Ugh. So now, I think it's time to try this out.
Yeah, go for it, Harry.
Give it your best.
Okay.
You did it, Harry, you did it.
Well, of course.
That takes care of that. It's running fine.
But we're not done yet. Take a look at this car. It's just as important to take care of the outside of the car as it is to take care of the car's engine. And we have one more stop on this adventure, our neighborhood car wash. You see, it's just as important to keep the car's paint finish clean and waxed because the wind, the sun, rain, and air pollutants destroy it.
You mean, like, things like the sun and the rain can hurt the car?
Yes, Darren, they can and do by damaging the car's paint job. So where do we go to get it cleaned?
The car wash!
And what do we do at the car wash?
Wash the car!
So let's go and do it. Now here we are at the car wash. Now if I owned this place, I wouldn't call it a car wash, I'd call it a car clean.
Why is that, Harry?
Because at a car wash, not only do you have to clean the outside of the car, but you have to clean the inside of the car as well. And that's why we need to start here, at the vacuum station. Ta-da! Oh. Now, pay close attention. Now you see it, and now you don't.
Wow, that works a lot better than our vacuum at home.
Well, it should, Darren. This kind of vacuum cleaner is more than 3 times more powerful than your vacuum cleaner at home. But I still prefer my method of vacuuming even better. Watch this.
Boy, could we use you at my house, Harry.
Mine, too.
Well, I guess we won't be needing this anymore. Oh, well, now it's time to roll up our windows and get the car washed. Okay, guys, check this out. First, high-pressure water is going to be used to wash off as much dirt as possible. Here it comes, it's spraying us now.
Wow, look at the brushes. Yeah.
Okay, now soap is sprayed on, and together with these huge rotating brushes, the soap and brushes scrub away the dirt and grime. Here, let me put on my wiper so we can see them coming at us. Here they come. They're rotating.
Ah!
That was a close one.
Yeah.
But we're safe in here as long as we have our windows rolled up. Then high-pressure water is again used, only this time it's used to wash away the soap as well as the extra dirt. Okay, next, a liquid wax or polish is then applied to the car. Then, everything goes through a wind tunnel that blows off most of the water, making it easier for us to finish the drying. Check out the bristles on the brushes here. They're blowing like blowing in the wind.
Wow.
That's a really strong wind tunnel.
Yeah. Oh, what? That's so neat. That's a tornado.
Almost. Okay, now when you think the drying is almost complete and the rest you can do with the cloth by hand, you slowly drive the car out of the car wash.
Boy, that's a lot of air pressure.
And here's the last part of this huge wind tunnel driving machine.
Wow.
Here we go! Some of the larger car washes have automatic drive wheels that push the car through the car wash without anyone being inside the car. I'm a star.
Line me up on this car wash track.
Yeah.
And polish me up with the high gloss wax.
You feel like a king or a queen when you're scrubbed up clean.
You'd be looking so fine when your windshield shines.
Woo!
Just cruising home with the good grass clothes.
You're fixed up
And feeling fine.
It's
A lucky day down at the service bay. Fixed up and feeling fine.
Woo!
Hey, the car looks terrific.
Thanks.
Yeah. Where to now?
Well, I think Jeff is going to be wanting this car back, so I think I better send it back to him. Oh,
Harry.
oh, sorry. Oh, now it's your turn.
Whoa.
Whoa! Well, guys, now that you've learned how important it is to take the time to properly service and care for your go-kart, I think you'll be running pretty smoothly from now on.
But Harry, you forgot.
Oh! Well, not anymore. From now on, you'll be running on Genie power.
Wow, thanks, Harry.
Well, that'll keep you going for a while. Oh, and speaking of going, I gotta get going too. Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Darren, for joining me on my adventure.
Thanks, Harry. Bye.
Bye, Harry. We hope to see you again soon.
Okay, bye.
That was great.
Do you think Harry will ever come back?
Sure, but not before I race you to the corner. On your mark, get set, go!
gas, some good spark plugs, and a white wall ties. And if you arrange to get an oil change, you'll hear the clickety-clack as they pump up the jack. It's your lucky day down at the service bay, fixed up and feeling fine. I wish I was a brand new car. Down at the car wash, I'm a star. They line me up on those car wash tracks and polish me up with high gloss wax. You feel like a king or a queen when you're scrubbed up clean. You'll be looking so fine when your windshield shines, like cruising home with gleaming chrome, fixed up and feeling fine. Yes, it's your lucky day down at the service bay, fixed up and feeling fine, looking good.